Clothing catalog expansion. Hello guys, so this is just a video on me expanding it because after I made the clothing catalog video and I added some other stuff to it, which was extremely helpful, and I really want to show that part to you guys rather than just, So yesterday I was working a lot on it and I managed to conditionally format it so that it would look nice. So I decided I should probably record it now so that you guys can see it when it's the way it's supposed to be. So here it is. I'll just say I updated it today. So this is one of the things that I added to it, and guys, I wrote holy on the top. I hid it the first time I did it because I was embarrassed, but like, I'm Christian, so that's how I take things. But I'm not gonna be too with certain clothing. I'm gonna kind of hide it because woman, okay, I don't want to show my stuff. Purpose, this is one that I recently added. If you watch the previous videos, purpose and holiday season occasion were kind of mixed in, and I realized that didn't really help, so I decided to separate them. It took a long time for me to do all of this. Setting it up is long, okay, but like maintaining it is really not. So that is the main catalog, which is clothing. For the unlisted one, which I'm going to show you guys, there is a quantity instead of individually listing each item. For example, batteries. Like, why are you going to individually list that I have 25 AA batteries? You should just put the quantity that you have there. Jewelry, one thing it does have is required place of wear, because it might be difficult to remember where you're supposed to wear them. And by the way, these are organized in ABC order, and I started with the purpose because I realized that it helps me to organize if I know what I have for going out, what I have for special occasions. It's something I actually like kind of fidgeted around with until I found what worked for me. So you can do that too, just saying. It's kind of strategic. Everything is in a certain order. Okay, next is makeup. Makeup, I have brand name because sometimes brand name correlates with the occasion that's being used for, and also it's kind of nice to know what brands you're using. And there's also area of use, which isn't really that important, but it's just there as a reference. I have stationery here as well, which is kind of just like if I have a backpack and I'm carrying it around, stuff that I might have in it. It has the quantity desired thing again, and purpose as well, but it's not really something that I keep up with a lot. It's just there to remark this is what I have, Then there's refillable items, which I did it on my house catalog as well. I did it there to kind of just control, did I run out of lotion, did I run out of deodorant? It's kind of just a reminder. It's not really meant to be messed with too often. Yes, you can say that, oh, you can just see yourself when they're running out, but sometimes you'll forget. Sometimes you'll use it and then you don't think about it again. Okay, and then this is the new catalog I did. Probably has the most columns. It's just like the clothing catalog, except it has quantity desired. This is mainly for stuff like hair ties, something that you have a lot of so that you know the amount you have without having to individually list each item. So we have unlistable items here, but it's basically little stuff that you have that you just don't want to write about. You just write that you have it and you're done. Right. I do have some little rules here, and I also have like a weather chart as like a guide to what to wear in each weather. But yeah, that is the clothing catalog. It's not finished. I still have some stuff to add to it, and every time I add something I have to fix the conditional formatting, which is kind of annoying, but that's how LibreOffice is. I can't complain. It's a free program and I like it, so I don't really care. I like messing with a spreadsheet. So anyway, I'm gonna show you guys the house catalog. It's not too much different. This one is not even finished, and it's kind of more annoying than the clothing catalog to deal with because yeah. So this is the house catalog. It's a little bit less personal. It's not fully finished. Obviously I don't have everything that I want on here, or my apartment, right? This is basically the same as the clothing catalog, but I did have the room that things go in and who it belongs to, if it's for me or for my family. Required usage is kind of similar to purpose, except it's like, what am I going to use it for? And then I also have material, which I conditionally formatted kind of for fun. It doesn't really help. I just kind of put it there to see how much plastic, ceramic, glass, whatever. And as you can see, plastic is in red because it stands out, but it looks like metal is winning here. That's nice. Hello guys. This is probably my 5th time of making this video, so please bear with me. There's a timestamp to this part and I'll just have to put it in the video. So let's just get started. So if you don't know about spreadsheets, unfortunately this is not a tutorial video on how to mess with spreadsheets, but I will be having to explain some things in order to make things a little bit clear to you. One of the benefits of the catalog is that it can help with making outfits, but this is specifically if you have the pictures there, right? Keep track of items and avoid overspending. This is the main reason for such a catalog anyway, but we just have to mention that as a benefit. Schedules without being too overbearing and easy adjustment. I do use it for like scheduling, like, oh, I need to wash this today or something. And it's not annoying because it's not a notification. If you get a notification and then you forget to do it on that day, then you have to set one again. And you don't have to do that with this. You can just change the date. And because of conditional formatting, the minute you go to it, you'll see that, oh, I have to do this today. And when you have too many notifications on your phone, you're not going to know if it's a message or if it's, hey, I need to clean this today, you know? And it's fun, at least for me. Okay, so the first thing we will do is the title and grouping cells. I do like to make a nice little background, so I'm just gonna make all of this plain by clicking the corner, which selects all of the cells, and that changes the background color, this paint bucket. Now, I did edit this toolbar to make it like this. There's a way to like customize it, and I also have the sidebar because it makes looking for styles easy. We're gonna need a lot of styles for this, but I am gonna show you guys how to make a style, even though I've already made all of the styles that I'll need for this. I'm actually just going to remake the title one. So right click, format cells, or I could just literally just make a new style from selection, and then I will right click, edit style. What I like to change is the borders. We're going to start with the borders. The borders on the title one are white, and you can change the thickness here. The background is one of the main ones as well. This title one has this color. The font for the title one is, and then font effects, we have double underlining here, and then alignment to make everything look nice and neat. Center and middle is generally what you want to go for, but there are times you want to use different ones. And then the last one is numbers, but we're not going to mess with number formatting for the title, but we're going to need it later, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so this is our title, but I'm going to just call it clothing catalog. So as you can see on mine, there are many different categories and the title stretches out over all of them. First though, we have to put the categories before I can do that thing. So I'm just going to copy and paste them and then change the style, and I will auto fit them as well. So how to auto fit is you select the columns that you need auto fitted by clicking and dragging this top bar where all of the columns are, and then you'll double click, which will auto fit everything. So to change the column height, you will right click on the top bar here. Change the row height, you'll right click on the left side here. So now in order to get that stretch, we're going to select from this column where the categories end and this column where they start. And we're going to also select this. You only need to format one box. And then we press this button, which is merge. And you want to make sure that when it merges, it goes to the middle. So now I'm going to change the formatting on this. So I did explain these already, but let me explain them again. Category count is you have 2 shirts and 3 pants. That's your category count. You can automatically see that I have 2 shirts and 3 pants instead of just saying I have 5 articles of clothing. That's on this side, total item count. Category is shirts, tops. Subcategory is dressing, formal, whatever you want to make it. But for me, I kind of put whatever there as the subcategory because we have purpose, which is where you're going to wear it. So to work, to a special occasion, to a very formal or special event. The reason why purpose is separate from holiday is because I used to have them together and I realized that it was kind of inconsistent. You don't want to have just the holiday there and then you don't know where you're supposed to wear it, or maybe you do but you don't write that down. And holiday season occasion is just what it is. Color and main color, you want to focus on the main color of the article of clothing, even if you are going to take pictures, because if you guys can see on mine, there's a lot of sectioning here, and as you can see, everything has a color and it's made so that it's very easy for you to find items. For example, if I'm looking for a pink shirt, I don't even have to read the color pink. I can just see that I have a pink cell right there. So that's the whole purpose of all of these conditional formatting. So you also want to make sure you're consistent with the terms that you're using for that reason. You don't want to have a bunch of colors and you don't format those colors, because then that destroys the point of the whole conditional formatting. And then name of item, that is the least important thing, because the more reading you do, the more your eyes will be tired and you're going to be looking at this a lot. So you don't want your eyes to be too tired. And that's the whole point of all of these categories, so that you jump to those first rather than jumping to the name of the item. You might think, oh, let me just Control F, find the item, but that gets annoying after a while. This just makes it easier. Last updated amount of wear, maximum amount of wear are about washing your clothes and washing them on time. And you might think that, oh, this technically is unnecessary or something like that, but it's for those clothings that maybe there's a dress that you pick up every once in a while. So basically you never know when to wash that thing. It's also meant to avoid you washing something after 2 wears, after 1 wear. And for me, half a wear is below 3 hours, and anything above that is a full wear, and any accessory gets a full wear. It doesn't have to be like that for you, but I'm just giving the reasoning behind it. So let's go ahead and add a listing. So as you can see from mine as well, and I'm referencing mine a lot because I do want you guys to like notice it, but this right here, right, you can see that once a new category starts, the color is changed. Again, it's the same thing. So here we go. Let's go ahead and start a new category. Whenever you make a new style, the numbers will start with the general formatting, but you need to make sure that that's consistent here. General formatting of numbers is just the number. No decimal, no leading zeros, just the number. Well, it says it has a leading zero, but clearly there's none, right? So this, we want to make sure that our category count and our total item count is generally formatted for numbers. So the category we will start with is tops, and subcategory is going to be dressing. Okay, so another thing that I did on mine, which is done in a lot of spreadsheets, is they alternate the colors when you move from column to column. So as you can see, cream, white, cream, and this also makes it a little bit easier on the eyes and easier to tell I'm in the next column. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that as well. Well, it's simple. It's just styles. And it's also very important to have styles when we're doing conditional formatting. So don't skip it. So I'm going to alternate between diamond and white, and they have borders as well. They shouldn't blend in with the rest of the background. And for right now, just ignore that they have like day with weekday and stuff on it. Oh yeah, guys, I have to show you how to use the formatting brush. So you can just make a selection, click multiple selections. So I'm going to click and drag here. And when you press the formatting brush once, it will copy formatting to one area that you click. But if you double click it, it will copy to multiple. So that's what I'm doing here. I double clicked it and I'm just going to copy it until we get to the end here. So yes, it's not really necessary because these will be conditionally formatted and they will change color. But on mine, some of them don't have color changes, so don't skip that, else it will look really sloppy. Let's go ahead and fill in our table. Purpose is going to be, for this I'm going to put special, and then for the next one I'll put special. I'll say this is for fall / summer because I need to show you guys something. So color and main color, this will be orange. And this will be red. So we're gonna go ahead and make dates for these, pretend I wore them. So formatting for date with weekday is just number formatting. The date I have on here has the date with weekday, because sometimes you're like, oh, I wore this shirt last Wednesday. You don't have to read the date and remember, oh, when was that date, you know? I'm gonna put it as today because I want to show you guys something. Mine are conditionally formatted so that they will turn certain colors based on whether it was today, yesterday, or last week. So I will be showing you guys that. All right, let's give this a max of 3. Let's give this a max of 7. So I do have that half aware system. So mine has a decimal point on the number formatting, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. As you can see on my own here, this just shows that you have to wash it. So if this became 3, it will become yellow. The yellow is kind of a reminder that this is what the limit is. And then total item count, we're just going to drag down. All right, so we've done 2 shirts. Let's say I wanted to add pants on top of this. So this is annoying, and when you do conditional formatting, it might get messed up if you do this. If you keep one catalog on one sheet, you could just do insert rows above, but we have to drag it down. Okay, so as you can see right here, we can see we have 1 pant and 2 tops, and from right here we can see that we have 3. So when you're dragging down the numbers in order to like count it, you want to make sure that you start from the second entry, because the first entry will have this like new category formatting on it, and if you drag down, then it'll also copy to it. And as for this, we're not going to drag down here because these are separate categories. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little border around the table like I have on mine. It's like this pink border around the table, and it kind of just makes it look a bit more cohesive and neat. So I'm just gonna do that real quick, and how to show you guys how to do that. Let's go to the style itself. So okay, so we start out with black, right? So we're gonna click the borders that we want edited, and then we're gonna change the color by coming over here, and then if you want to add any to that, you will just click another one. All right guys, so there we go. So this is our table. Before we move on to next is conditional formatting. I did also want to say that when these boxes are number formatted, you don't just want to throw random numbers in there, especially in the date box, because it will mess things up. So when you're finished, right, let's say I wash this shirt, is you're just going to make the amount of wears to 0, and then you're going to remove the date. I prefer to just put a dash in the cell because it's kind of quicker. If I put a 0 in here, right, it changes to a random date, and you don't want that because it might throw you off. So just make sure you watch what you're doing on the catalogs. And conditional formatting also has its own order. You have to order it in order of whichever one is longer. So we have special occasions and special, but both of them contain the word special. So I will have to do special occasions. So before you conditional format, you want to select the area, and if you want to add any more, you have to read the range here and then just type it in the range box at conditional formatting, which is right here. So if it was not there already, I could just type it in, but if it's selected, it will already be selected for you. So the function is cell value contains. So contains function is like, if it has the word, it'll get the style, even if it has the word and something else, which is why you need to put the longer ones first. And I'm just going to show you guys the incorrect way of doing this so that you know not to do it as well. So as you can see, both of these have two different formatting. One of them has a hot pink lettering, and one of them has black lettering. So it should show up like that, right? Wrong, because I put special first. So you want to prioritize the longer names if you have names that share something. And here I have corrected it by moving. So one thing I forgot to do is add desire/need. And this is just showing you that, hey, I don't have this item yet. And it's the same contains function. I didn't explain this, but the reason we're doing conditional formatting is it's not just about making everything color, but it's about making everything automatic. If I change this to red right now, guess what? It turns red without me doing any work. That's the point of the conditional formatting. It's supposed to make listing easy for you. Not only does it show you immediately the color so that you don't have to do too much reading, but also it makes listing the items easy for you. And the minute I remove this, the conditional formatting is gone. So that's another benefit of it, right? It's temporary, but also permanent. So now we're going to do the date one. So for me, I have date is today, date is yesterday, and date is last week. So today is just saying that, hey, I updated this item today. Yesterday is that sometimes you wear the same clothes that you wore the day before. And the last week one is kind of a warning that, hey, you might want to wash this because you haven't worn it in a minute. So we're going to do date is today. All right. And we have the pink for that. We make sure it's day with week. So as you can see, the minute I change the dates, the formatting is changed. This one, especially if you're going to be updating every day, is important because it'll automatically tell you just based on the color, what day have you worn. All right. So for this one, we are doing a greater than or equal to function. So cell value is greater than or equal to. And by the way, they have to be separate because 2 are 7 and 1 is 3. So as you can see, the minute that this hits the wrong number, right, it turns to yellow, right? All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next part, which is going to be unlisted catalog. So this is another number formatting, but I customized this. So on mine, all of these numbers have an X in front of them. Even though it has an X in front of them, it doesn't show when you typed it. Why? Because this is a formatting. So that's why formatting is important. I put the X there to show that it's a quantity specifically. It's not just a count number. So as you can see, all they did was put quotation marks and then put the X there. So you could put anything you want in here, right? So the quantity is how much do you have, and quantity desired is either how much you want or how much you want in total. When you're adding a new listing to your table, do not drag down because the date messes up, max amount of wear messes up. So just avoid that and copy and paste. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is how I use this as like a cleaning schedule. I'm not going to show too much of it because it's kind of weird. Anyway, like I kind of messed with this, so it messed up a little bit. But as you can see, it does get the same formatting. It's still cell value contains function, so it's not really new. And by the way, don't fret too much if some of your styles are similar. You just don't want them to be too similar within the same column. For example, both of these are orange, but, you know, one of them is about the color, one of them is about the season. So it's obvious that they're not the same thing. You can do that for a few of the seasons or a few of the colors, but you have to be careful with overusing it. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. Bye!